This is a satellite image of the Three Gorges Dam in China, located on the Yangtze River in Hubei province. The dam stands more than 100 meters tall and stretches 2 kilometers in length, creating a reservoir covering 1,000 square kilometers and holding nearly 40 cubic kilometers of water. As the world's largest hydroelectric project, it provides electricity to 20 million people and helps mitigate droughts and floods in the Yangtze River basin. However, since its construction began in the 1990s, its status as a strategic infrastructure has made it a target in a hypothetical Taiwanese strategy described as horrifying, destructive, and catastrophic. While it is not official policy, some military strategies in Taipei speculate that in the event of a conflict with China, striking the dam would wipe out the lower reaches of the Yangtze River from the face of the earth. This would involve destroying important military and industrial targets and flooding cities like Nanjing, Shanghai, and Wuhan, leading to mutual destruction. Certainly, Taiwan would face destruction in response, but it is prepared to fight to the last. This is one of the most apocalyptic military strategies of the 21st century. Although most people are not interested in politics, they are interested in survival. And when it comes to survival, all means are fair. Today, we will talk about Taiwan's secret plan in case of a Chinese invasion. Enjoy watching. On October 1, 1949, Mao Zedong proclaimed the establishment of the People's Republic of China on Tiananmen Square. 22 years of civil conflict interrupted by the war with Japan ended with the victory of the Communist Party on the mainland and the retreat of the Kuomintang forces to Taiwan. Neither side gave up its claims to the entire mainland China and Taiwan, but over time, the conflict evolved into a frozen dispute. The idea of one China formed the basis for relations between entities on both sides of the strait. However, the practical consequences of such a policy were far from straightforward. The dispute remained more to legitimacy than territory. In the early stages of the Cold War, diplomatic recognition aligned with geopolitical realities. However, the Sino-Soviet split and Deng Xiaoping's reform program eventually increased the economic and geopolitical importance of the mainland. In 1979, Washington reached an agreement shifting official recognition to the mainland. Taiwan, which had effectively maintained its independence, was provided with substantial, albeit semi-official, security guarantees. But the fundamental issue regarding the island's status remained unresolved. In recent years, China's rise as a global power has once again brought this topic to the forefront. From a strategic standpoint, Taiwan is a thorn in Beijing's side and a trump card in Washington's hand. Thus, China aims to realize its territorial claims, while Washington adheres to a policy of strategic ambiguity concerning the island's defense. And although Washington's commitment to maintaining Taiwan's status quo is essentially unwavering, and a full-scale invasion by China is currently unlikely, Taipei is not willing to leave things to chance. A certain independent deterrent operating autonomously is the best way for Taiwan to maintain self-governance while reducing dependence on the United States. Typically, nuclear weapons serve as a deterrent. However, given Taiwan's ambiguous diplomatic status, acquiring or developing such resources would be seen as a move towards separatism, something Beijing would interpret as an act of war. The ethical justification for such an idea is dubious, as is any war. In war, it is not about who's right, but who's left standing. And now is the time to discuss one of the most decisive military plans in the modern world: sabotaging the Three Gorges Dam. Hypothetically, an attack on it could help Taiwan achieve its containment goal without nuclear weapons. Essentially, this plan aims to do more with the least cost, creating the possibility of mutual assured destruction through conventional means. Breaching the Three Gorges Dam would lead to the release of its 600-kilometer reservoir into the lower reaches of the Yangtze River, causing rapid flooding downstream lakes meant for flood control, and inflicting immeasurable damage to populated areas, including Wuhan, Nanjing, and Shanghai. In the context of war, such a strike, besides its immediate impact on tens of millions of people, would destroy the industrial base in the Yangtze River Delta, its commercial centers, and 2/3 of China's rice production, potentially affecting up to 400 million Chinese residents. Also, the destruction of the Three Gorges Dam could theoretically lead to the destruction of 90% of the People's Liberation Army Airborne Division, headquartered in Shogun City, Hubei province. It is obvious that Taipei would prefer never to execute such a plan. Most likely, it would trigger a nuclear response from Beijing, whose arsenal of 400 nuclear warheads is more than sufficient to wipe the island off the face of the earth. Thus, the true objective of the plan is not its practical implementation, but the threat of mutual assured destruction. However, to achieve this goal, means for carrying out such an attack are necessary, as well as signaling to Beijing the realistic possibility of its execution. Both of these conditions are complicated by the distance involved. The dam is located 1,200 kilometers away from Taiwan, making it a challenging target for most conventional systems. Airdropping a payload is also doomed to fail, due to the resistance Taiwanese aircraft would encounter. Therefore, the best option might be cruise missiles, and Taipei is rapidly developing in this direction. In response to China's increased violations of Taiwan's air defense identification zone, Taipei has raised its 5-year military spending by $8.6 billion. In February 2022, Taipei announced its intention to more than double its annual plan for missile production to 497 units, as revealed in a report to the parliament. This represents significant firepower, and Taiwan's missile program possesses a range of modern capabilities. One of them is the Xiangfeng 2E missile. It is believed that the upgraded version of this missile has a range of 1,200 kilometers, enabling it to reach the Three Gorges Dam. Meanwhile, the upgraded supersonic cruise missile Xiangfeng, under development since 2019, is expected to have a flight range of 2,000 kilometers, making it a potentially more viable option. However, the exact firepower required for a knockout blow remains unknown. According to some analysts, just a few missiles might be sufficient. Others argue that thousands of missiles are necessary to provide an adequate reserve, considering those that may deviate from the target or be intercepted by Chinese air defense systems. There are also those who believe that anything short of a nuclear explosion would be virtually imperceptible, since minor damage to the dam might not cause more harm than opening a few floodgate doors. It may not constitute a devastating enough blow to label the situation as mutual assured destruction. Furthermore, gravity dams are powerful structures designed to distribute energy throughout the entire construction. Due to the segmented design of the Three Gorges Dam, damage to one part might not be sufficient to destroy the entire dam. China's air defense systems also deserve attention. In addition to the initial missile defense shield, Beijing deploys numerous surface-to-air and anti-submarine missiles in close proximity to the dam, creating a well-guarded no-fly zone around the dam and its peripheral structures. However, the effectiveness of these defense mechanisms against Taiwanese hypersonic missiles could be diminished, making interception much more challenging. Additionally, China could simply preempt a strike on the Three Gorges Dam by draining it before launching an attack on Taiwan. However, preemptively draining the dam would give Taipei an advantage, signaling the opponent's intentions and disrupting river trade downstream on the Yangtze River. Apart from operational considerations, the threat to the Three Gorges Dam could have broader implications. In 1938, Chinese nationalists breached water defenses on the Yellow River. Thus, the nationalists successfully halted the Japanese advance. The strategic plan worked. However, it led to the deaths of approximately 500,000 Chinese due to floods, diseases, and famine. In turn, this created fertile ground for recruitment into the Communist Party, which had a negative impact on the nationalists following the resumption of the Civil War. In a certain situation, the ability to target the Three Gorges Dam could offer Taiwan a non-nuclear option for mutual assured destruction. However, it's a weapon that would destroy the possessor as well. In essence, this strategy is no more insane than traditional nuclear deterrence, but its quality might be less assured. Paradoxically, the threat remains useful only as long as it remains untested, because in the end, some actions could be worse than the crime. They could be a mistake. Write in the comments what you think about Taiwan's secret plan in the event of a Chinese attack. If you found something new and interesting in this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the Caro Show channel. Also, check out our previous videos. See you later.